Ladies, just a reminder to clear the pool.
Good morning and welcome to WPI for day 3. It's our final day here of the Gompei Invitational. This is the prelim session. First things first, I know I promised all of you that I would be on at 8:45 to go over results. And I was ready to go on at 8:45 with results, but the music just got turned off. And for those of you who may not have been on any previous sessions, we can't have music playing in the background during the live stream on YouTube because of copyright issues. So even if we're not originating the music, it's in the background, the crazy YouTube algorithms will recognize that music, and the WPI Athletics account will get a copyright infringement. And we certainly don't want that. So here we go. We do have the mile this morning, folks, so trust me, there's going to be plenty of time to go over results. We will talk about, I do have combined team scores, and I have top 15 individual scores coming into today. So we will go over that during the mile. This is the first day we're not going to start off with a relay. We're starting off with the women's 200 back. First things first, alongside Avery Abreu and Samantha from the WPI Sports and Information Department, I am Jeremy Abreu from Abreu Media Productions. This is our third day of bringing you this unbelievable swim meet here at WPI, this Gompei Invitational. I've said it multiple times over the weekend, but for a mid-season meet, to see the number of time drops that we've seen, I don't really think any of these teams are tapered. So maybe one or two schools potentially, and that's just, I know I was having a conversation with one of the parents from Bryant, and they are not tapered. And I would assume most of the schools are not tapered. So to see these type of time drops in a mid-season meet is absolutely a testament to all of these swimmers' hard work, the coaches, all the prep and training programs that they've instituted, you know, the support system of the swimmers, the family, the friends, all of that good stuff. There you see your lane assignments. We'll have 4 swimmers here. Sarah Kirsting Mum in lane 4 from Clark, Carly Caswell from Merrimack in lane 5, Natalie Carrington, and Kylie Herbstuber in lane 6 and 7 from WPI respectively. Can we make sure that you all can hear me? You should be able to hear me. The graphics stayed up on the screen for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to get rid of those for you for a minute. Things always get a little wonky, like the first heat of the morning. So if you can hear me, can you just jump into the live chat? Give me just a little, hey, I can hear you fine. I know we got almost 70 people online already. So that would be spectacular because I can see that everything's going through. All right, coming in great. Anthony! That's right. Appreciate it, my friend. I say this every day. I always get paranoid. I can see it on my end that everything's coming through all right, but occasionally you run into an issue where somebody, you know, maybe has their volume off and they don't realize it, and they're like, hey, it's not working. So day 3, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little tired today. The voice is a little suspect right now, but we're going to fight through it. It's this isn't even like the longest meet that I do. In 2 weeks, I have the New England Seniors Championships at the club level. That's at Brown University, and that starts on Thursday. So that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday meet. So a lot of talking then. So, you know, you prepare those vocal cords, but little tired today, but still fired up about what we have in store for you here at WPI, not even counting this amazing opening event, the women's 200 back. Again, you'll have your on-screen graphics, I think, when they finish. We got the timer working. There's always something wacky about the first heat. Unless they set up the first heat in the timing system go to the next heat, and then go back. The first heat is always a little off, but we do have the timer on the screen. I'll give you all of the information, of course, and it looks like it's Kylie Herbstuber from WPI in lane 7 who is going to take it home here. And yes, 224 flat for Herbstuber. Caswell finishes second. That's Carly Caswell, 227.47. And it will be Sarah Kirsting Mum from Clark rounding out the field. Hopefully everybody had a good Hopefully everybody had a great Saturday night. This is event 2. Cleo Zhu from Bentley comes in with the top time. Sophomore, 222.93. For those of you who may be in town here at WPI, it took me about 35 minutes to go from the pool to the hotel, which is about a mile away, 2 miles away. Now, full disclosure, I made a wrong turn, but Sebastian Maniscalco was at the DCU Center last night, and his ending of his show coincided with our end of the meet. So, yeah, there was a lot of traffic in downtown Worcester. So if you are in town and you tried to go out to eat last night or something, hopefully you went out earlier. And hopefully you were able to get in somewhere because the crowds were crazy. For those of you who don't know who's Sebastian, and I'm not even sure if I'm saying his last name right, Maniscalco, big-time comedian, one of the most popular comedians out there at the current time. He performed down in Providence on Friday night, and he's up at the DCU Center last night, and I'm sure he's probably somewhere else in New England tonight. So getting back to our live action, Maria Nenadic from Springfield leading the way, 105.60, followed by Becky Goodfellow from Brandeis. Nenadic looking really good here. She'll touch at the 150-yard mark, so 50 to go. 2:23.33. Jump into that live chat if you had something good going on last night. I'd love to hear what everyone did. Again, we had some great performances last night in finals. Shaping up to be another fantastic day. We debuted the third camera last night in a different way that we've been using it before with finals. It seems like that was a big hit. So for those of you who maybe didn't see, as Maria Nenadic finishes up 2:14.62. Amelia Kulzer takes second. Rachel Zhang takes third. So for Nenadic, 2:14.62 represents, again, here we go, a 9-second time drop. Kulzer, 2:17.26. That is a 9-second time drop for her. So the time drops continue to impress here at WPI. As we move into heat number 3, we've seen Julia Stennard from Bryant dominate the back events here so far this weekend. Her underwaters are just amazing. As you just saw, she comes up right around that 12 or 13-yard mark. So we have lane 8 is open. Julia Stennard from Bryant comes in with the top time, 2:09.62. So she's 4 seconds faster coming in than the next closest swimmer, which is her teammate from Bryant, Madeline Condon. She's in lane 6. Big NFL Sunday today. Should be a good day of football. Of course, the Patriots with the loss to Buffalo on Thursday night, so we won't be watching the Pats today. Not sure if the Celtics play today or they have the day off. Stennard leads the way at the halfway mark. She's a second ahead of Jillian Stevens, a second and a half ahead of Madeline Condon. So right now, Brian is 1, 2, and 3. Emma Pedros from Rowan occupying 4th place right now. We've also incorporated that third camera into the view that you're seeing right now. So just to switch things up a little bit, getting the full pool in a pan shot. So that always makes things a little different, changes it up. Stannard continues to lead the way. Here comes Jillian Stevens, though. So her Bryant teammate in lane 7 starting to make a push. 25 yards to go. We'll see if Julia Stannard can keep and maintain that lead. It looks like she is. Backstroke's such a fascinating stroke where it looks like it's effortless when it's really one of the toughest strokes, especially on the legs with the kicking. And it will be Stannard who finishes 2:07.28. So she'll drop 2 seconds. Stevens takes second, 2:08.11. That's an 8-second drop. Condon 2:09.37, a 4-second drop. So when you look at the top 3, Bryant goes 1, 2, 3, but they also have amazing dropped times there. And I'm sure if we go up and down that list, we'll see all of the other time drops. As we move into heat 4 of 5, Reagan Lord not here, so lane 5 is open. Lord would have come in with the top time, 2:05.35. Instead, we're going to go to Monica Izuka from Brandeis. She's in lane 4 with the top time. We're already up to 100 people. A testament to the audience here. We reached a high water mark for this weekend last night, 209 viewers. So, in the world of, New England collegiate swimming live streaming, that is a big number, 209. So we've been averaging right around 175, 180. We broke 200 last night, which was fantastic to see. I put that challenge out there to everyone. We got to break that 250 mark today. So hopefully we're already over 100 now. So hopefully as we continue to move on and we get into this first event and second events, subsequent events, we'll get it. Remarkably, we've been getting the slightly larger audience on the finals. So you might say, well, why is that remarkable? Of course, it's the finals. Well, it's less swimmers too, right? So not everybody makes finals. So it's a smaller group of potential viewers, because there's not as many swimmers swimming at night as there are in the morning. So that's been really nice to see. People are tuning in for the finals, tuning in to see performances like we're seeing right here in lane 2 by Molly Cox from Babson. Molly comes in with a 2:19.48. She's leading the way right now. She's followed by Izuka from Brandeis, and they have just about pulled even with each other. So Cox in lane 2, Izuka in lane 4. I'm digging that camera 3 view. Looks really good. Coming down the stretch here, Molly Cox in 2, Izuka in lane 4. Who's going to outtouch who? And it's Molly Cox by 16/100ths. 2:09.80. She'll drop 10 seconds. Izuka goes 2:09. She drops 4 seconds. Patch goes 2:11, and she's right on her time. Actually, she drops 3/100ths. So again, all three top 3 swimmers drop time. Molly Cox, your Heat 4 winner. We'll move into Heat 5 of 5. Ella Pennington, the freshman from Rowan, comes in with the top time here, 2:05.02. So she's the top overall seed, 2:05.02, 6 seconds faster than the next fastest swimmer, Dariana Gonzalez, the senior from Bentley. So keep an eye on Pennington in lane 5. She certainly had herself a great weekend thus far. Very impressive swimming for a freshman. And we've seen a lot of talented freshmen here. We're going to see Jill Carline from Bryant. She won the 200 free last night. She's the top seed in the 100 free today. Of course, we mentioned her father is a collegiate official. He's been working this meet. Her sister Brooke, a club-level swimmer and a standout at Norton High School, was here last night doing some timing. And Mom Jennifer was in the stands cheering everyone on. So all in the family for the Carline clan as we watch Ella Pennington. She'll go out in a 59.40. She's built up a pretty sizable lead through that first half, almost 3 seconds. Three things that I always keep an eye on during the backstroke that I feel are pivotal to being a successful backstroker. How is your head? Is your head very still, very stationary in the water? Is it in a position to create the least amount of drag? How that's number one. Number two, how are those shoulders rotating through the water? Are you getting maximum reach behind you to push and pull that water behind you? And three, well, we'll watch Pennington finish up in an impressive performance, 2:03.93, and of course she drops time a second and a half. Emma Baumhauer from Springfield, 2:08.52, and it's Leah Kalb from WPI, third, to 11:39. And the third thing we take a look at is the hips. Are your hips up, high up in the water? And is your kicking looking strong? Because if your hips aren't up in the water, you're dragging. You're creating drag, which is obviously going to slow you down. And Pennington checks off the box on all of those three things as we move into event 38. It's heat one, the men's 200 back. Lanes 1 and 10 will be open here. James Chan comes in with the top time, the senior from Springfield, 1:55.44. So keep an eye on Chan in lane 5. Oh, Amanda, thank you so much for the kind comments. Yes, I love it. Trinidad, you're out in Trinidad. The weather is a little different here, Amanda, in Worcester, Massachusetts than it is in Trinidad. I'm guessing you probably have sunny skies in the 80s right now. Nice and beautiful. We're cloudy skies in the 30s and cold. So quite a difference, but yes, that's great that all of our international audience is able to watch their friends, family, loved ones compete. The beauty of live streaming for sure. Rowan going 1 and 2 right here, so it's Justin Golia and Jack Watson leading the way. Both have had themselves a good meet too. Rowan themselves having a very good meet. I don't want to spoil my combined team scores that I'll get into, but Rowan in that upper third doing a great job. I will say with full disclosure, I did not know a lot about the Rowan swim program prior to this meet. You know, being from New England, I was very familiar with all of the other schools. Rowan was really the one school that I was not familiar with. So I didn't have any expectations, high, low, good, bad, as we watch Goglia finish up 152.10. Watson goes 154.62. Both of them drop time. James Chan will take third, 158.57. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the Rowan program. Lots of talented swimmers. Looks like they have great camaraderie and good culture over, on their little seating area. They're always hanging out and laughing. They're always cheering on their teammates. So nice job by Rowan as we move into heat number 2. Oh, look at this. So we have Tech with Martin Stennard. Hello from Sweden. That is fantastic. So Martin, I am assuming you're Julia's dad. I've been very worried about if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I don't think I am. At first I said, well, is it Stenhard? Then I'm like, I don't think that's it. I think it's Stennard. So give me the phonetic spelling, if you don't mind, in the live chat. The worst thing for me is messing up a last name, and I do it occasionally, maybe more than occasionally. Griffin LaJoy leading the way here, followed by Jack Ossie. Great to see Trinidad. Great to see Sweden checking in. Fantastic. We're happy that you are able to watch the coverage that we're bringing you here. Griffin LaJoy, the sophomore from Bryant, is just happy to be swimming as good as he is. He's leading the way here at the halfway mark, out in a 53.47. LaJoy in 5, Ossie in lane 6, both from Bryant. Asher Stuckelman in 3rd place right now from Bryant. So Bryant 1, 2, and 3 at the halfway mark. Team spirit all the way around, as I've mentioned many times this weekend, is one of the many things that has impressed me here. And it's really nice to see, because at the end of the day, swimming, it's such a unique sport in that there are so many individual elements to it, but having that teamwork, that cohesiveness is so important to the overall team, and you can obviously see all of these programs have built a culture around that. Griffin LaJoy, 150.21. He'll drop 2 seconds. Jack Ossie goes 153.87. He'll drop almost 4 seconds. And coming in 3rd will be Asher Stuckelman, 202.26. And he'll drop 3 seconds. So time drops all the way around again. Your winner, Griffin LaJoy from Bryant, 150.21. As we move on to heat 3 of 3, this is our last heat of the backstroke. Then we're going to move into a fun event, the 1IM. So it's an event that even on the club level, we don't see a ton. We see it amongst the 12 and unders. We don't really see it a ton with the 13 and overs on the club level. But in my opinion, every swimmer I know loves that event. 25 of each stroke. It happens fast. It's a lot of fun. Be looking forward to watching it here. Was looking forward to also watching Toby Cobley, who comes in with the top time. He's a scratch right here. So the top time now falls to Roman San Juan, the freshman from Bryant, in lane 6, who's had himself quite a weekend. San Juan swimming from out in front. Nathan Ford from Babson, Christopher Smith from WPI occupying 2nd and 3rd place respectively. The break this morning, folks, is going to come after the 2 fly. And it's interesting because on my sheet, on one of my sheets, it said we were supposed to lead off today with the 100 free. So I think that got moved a little further back in the program. It's right before the 50 breast. So past couple days, we've started off with relays. Then we've had a 10-minute break. We'll have that 10-minute break a little further down coming up. Also to note, the I've had some blips on the internet connection so far this morning. A few blips. So you may have noticed, I don't know what you'd call it, a glitch on the screen. It's like a millisecond here and there. Roman San Juan takes it 153.14. He'll drop 2 seconds. Christopher Smith from WPI takes second, 157. He'll drop 2. And it's Nathan Ford from Babson taking third, and he'll drop 5 seconds. So the little glitch on the screen is so quick that you might not even notice it. I notice it because I look out for it. But I've had a few dropped frames here this morning in internet and video streaming speak, but nothing that should really impact us in a major way as we move into event 39, heat 1. Lizzie Frazier will come into this first heat with the top time, 103.50. Butterfly, back, breast, freestyle, 25 of each. That's what makes this 1IM so exciting. I think swimmers of all ages enjoy this 1IM. It's so quick. Unlike the 4IM, it's not quite as tiring as we're already over to the backstroke. Lizzie Frazier from Springfield, who comes in with the top time, leads the way at the halfway mark. So these will be quick races, folks, right around that 1 minute mark. And under, when we get to the men's side, you'll be looking in that low 50s in terms of our final heat or two. Lizzie Frazier already on her way back. She's chasing a 103.50. Looks like she's going to get that fairly easily. Frazier goes 100.82. Jenna Durgan will take second from Merrimack, 103.45. That's a 3-second drop for Durgan. Nice job by her. Morgan Kingsley from Bentley takes third, 103.71. Again, a time drop. So the repeated pattern is time drop after time drop. Top 3 all drop times. Lizzie Frazier, your Heat 1 winner as we move into Heat number 2. Grace Noble comes in with your top time in Heat 2. She's followed by Riley Wirtanen, the senior from Bryant University. Swimming in the family for the Wirtanens. Riley, a senior here at Bryant. Her sister Ava is a freshman swimmer at Boston College. Grace Noble leading the way from Bryant, and it is Wirtanen occupying second right now. So Bryant 1 and 2. Gabrielle Miller from Merrimack holding on to third, a little over a second and a half behind. And just like that, we are ready to wrap this one up. Grace Motisi looks like she's moved into second. She's battling with Wirtanen. It will be Noble, 102.46, followed by Motisi and Wirtanen. Noble's 102.46 represents a 1/10 of a second time drop. Noble, Motisi, and Wirtanen, we're already into our third and final heat. Anastasia Biku from Brandeis, along with Nellie Clark from Bryant, the top times. Clark comes in with a 102. Had a little outage of one of the cameras for a quick second there. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, everything looks fine. So Reagan Lord finishes up 58.72 for Lord. It's our first time seeing Lord here this weekend. Clark takes second, Biku takes third. There are your final results. Lord, the only one to come in under a minute, 58.72 as our final heat. As we move into event 40, the men's 100-yard IM. There will be 3 heats on the men's side as well.
Have the results for event 37, the women's 200-yard backstroke. Starting with the alternates, Caitlin Schwartz and Sarah Holstein. For C final, Sophia Stewart, Anastasia Beckow, Anna Callahan, Emily Dusso, Audrey Dino, Becky Goodfellow, Rachel Zhang, Hugh Clayton, Alexis Kidjob, and Amelia Pulser. For B final, Faith Gambardella, Carolyn Blank, Caitlin Karen, Taylor White, Maria Nenedict, Madeline Semeco, Emily Moonjar, Maya Hobart, Lindsay Cave, and Mackenzie Nash. For A final, Daria Gonzalez, Leah Cole, Emma Pedros, Monica Azuka, Molly Cox, Madeline Condon, Emily Von Palmer, Jillian Stevens, Julia Stennard, and Ella Pennington.
So I purposely stayed quiet there so you could hear the PA announcer run through the finalists for the 2 back, because I think I'm going to get results run up to me at some point. But just in case I don't, hopefully you heard that. Again, you can find this all on Meet Mobile. I'll certainly give you whatever I get. Andrew Ingo from Brandeis, your Heat 1 winner. As we move into Heat number 2, lane 10 will be open. Josh Sellers comes in with the top time. You really get to some fast times here. Josh Sellers, 52.99. So this is where we start to get into the low 50s. The meet record set 4 years ago by Ellen Svard, 57.94. So this meet record is, no, excuse me, not 57.94, 48.87. Sorry, I was looking at the women's. I was going to say this record is about to get beat, but no, 48.87 was set by Micah Ornelas 4 years ago, December of 2018. So again, 48.87, the time to beat here. It's not going to happen in this heat, but Tanner Eisenhut is off to a good start this morning, and it is Eisenhut who takes it, 52.24. Volan second, Sellers third. Eisenhut drops 10 seconds. Came in with a 102, goes out with a 52. Our final heat, which is Heat 3, will feature Zachary Cheung from Babson in lane 5, 51.33. Here's some more results for you.
Joseph Parsons, Kyle Brown, John Sherlock, Jake Eastman, Angus Zawak, Matt Dengaro, Brandon McMahon, Terry Lee, Tal Spector, Danny Callahan, Rodrigo Gomez, Raj Pata, Asha Stukelman, and Aaron Swan. Next for A final is Owen Oldsberg, Austin Weir, James Chan, Nathan Ford, Christopher Smith, Jack Watson, Jack Ossie, Roman San Juan, Justin Goglia, and Griffin LaJoy. The time is now 9:32. You have 30 minutes to declare your intention to scratch.
So that was the men's backstroke finalist. Good race here in the middle of the pool between Fracchiola, Cheung, and Lofstrom. Who's going to touch first? And it is Lofstrom from Bryant, 52.81. Cheung takes second. Fracchiola takes third. So some great racing there as we conclude our 1IM. We'll now move into event 41. Event 41, the women's 200-yard butterfly is up next. Top time coming into this first heat belongs to Natalia Kuipers, the junior from Bryant, 2:10 flat. So there may have been a DQ there. One of the officials coming down to the scorer's table. Typically what happens on the collegiate level is the official has to notify both the coach, the head coach, and the scorer's table of a DQ. So that's why sometimes there is a little bit of a wait in between heats. The official has to talk to the coach, let the coach know, and then bring that to the scorer's table. But we're ready to move on. There are your lane assignments. Lanes 1, 9, and 10 will be open.
Remy Bailey, Ivy Joyle, Chloe Johnson, Grace Susi, Hannah McLeod, Evan Parson, Gabrielle Miller, Darcy Anselmi, and Kendall Garvey. For A final, Riley Wartanen, Maria Benedict, Grace Motizi, Morgan Kingsley, Jordan Clemens, Jenna Durgeon, Grace Noble, Anastasia Beckham, Lizzie Frazier, and Reagan Ward. Time is now 9:35. You have 30 minutes to declare your attention to scratch.
So there's the finals for the 1IM.
Also, the results for the men's 100-yard IM. Starting with B final, Robbie Wilson, Tyler Broderick, Liam Harris, Shane Conroy, Edward Errolfem, Kenneth Ryu, Michael Motizi, and Rocky Tang. Next for A final, Calvin Yee, Ben Lee, Marcelo Carrion, Josh Sellers, Michael Frasciola, Andrew Nigo, Zachary Chung, Connor Lostrom, Alex Boland, and Tanner Eisenhunt. Time's now 9:36, and you have 30 minutes to clear your attention to scratch.
Okay, so those were the finalists for the men's 100 IM. Back in live action, Natalia Kuipers leads the way from Bryant. April Kupski holding on to second. Elizabeth Athanas from Springfield in third. Kuipers, as we mentioned, came in with a 2:10. As she heads home here, she's going to break that 2:10, so she's going to have a good time drop over 2 seconds. Kuipers goes 2:07.73. Kupski from Babson goes a 2:12.12. Elizabeth Athanas from Springfield, 2:15.58. As we move into heat 2 of 3. There are your final results. Natalia Kuipers, your Heat 1 winner of the 2 fly. So I just did get results. So if you did not hear them, I'll run through them. You have all of your information on your screen, so you won't miss any of that action. Women's 200 backstroke, alternate Sarah Holstein and Caitlin Schwartz. C final, Sophia Stewart, Anastasia BQ, Anna Callahan, Emily DeSalt, Audrey Dino, Becky Goodfellow, Rachel Sang, Q Clayton, Alexis Kidjob, and Amelia Kulzer. The B final, Faith Gambardelli, Carolyn Blank, Caitlin Karen, Taylor White, Maria Nenadich, Madeline Semenko, Emily Munjar, Maya Harbrick, Lindsay Cave, and Mackenzie Patch. Your A final, Dariana Gonzalez, Leah Kolb, Emma Padros, Monica Azuka, Molly Cox, Madeline Condon, Emma Baumhauer, Jillian Stevens, Julia Stannard, and our top overall qualifier going into finals tonight, the freshman from Rowan, Ella Pennington, with a 2:03.93. So I'll wait for this next heat to start before I give you the men, because I don't want to interrupt the finish here. And the finish here finds a race that's been dominated by Bailey Gold. Gold came in with the top time, 2:09.40. 2:06.44 for Gold. She'll drop almost 3 seconds. Charlie Legalis takes second from Bryant, 2:11.70, and it's Megan Donnelly also from Bryant, 2:14.52. So Bailey Gold, your Heat 2 winner as we move into Heat number 3. Top time coming in once again will be Julia Stannard from Bryant, 2:09.31. She'll be in lane 5. We're up to 125 here this morning. Appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here. It's a slow morning to wake up for Brew Media Productions today. Lanes 1 and 10 are open. The men's 200 backstroke finalists in the C final: Nick Cordell, Joseph Parsons, Kyle Brown, John Sherlock, Jake Eastman. In the B final, Angus Zuwalik, Matt DeGenero. And I just met his family this morning. I think I said it wrong. Matt DeGenero, Brandon McMahon, Terry Lee, Tal Spector, Danny Callahan, Rodrigo Gomez, Raj Pata, Asher Stuckelman, and Aaron Swan. And, of course, swimming in the A final, Owen Oldenburg, Austin Aguirre, James Chan, Nathan Ford, Christopher Smith, Jack Watson, Jack Ossie, Roman San Juan, Justin Golia, and the number 1 seed going into finals tonight with a time of 1:50.21. It's the sophomore from Bryant University, Griffin LaJoy. Women's 100 IM swimming in the C final will be Hannah Ross, Peyton Dawley, Christina Sung, Ashlyn Blair, Alex Pickett. Swimming in the B final, Sophie Cretion, Remy Bailey, Ivy Joyle, Chloe Johnson, Grace Susi, Hannah McLeod, Eva Parson, Gabrielle Miller, DRC Anselmi, and Kendall Garvey. And swimming in the A final, it will be Riley Wirtanen, Maria Nenadich, Grace Motizzi, Morgan Kinsley, Jordan Clements, Jenna Durgan, Grace Noble, Anastasia BQ, Lizzie Frazier, and our top overall seed with a time of 58.72, the sophomore from Bryant University, Reagan Lord. And we'll get you those men's 1IM finalists, and then we'll be caught up momentarily as we watch Julia Stannard .206.18 for Stannard, so she'll drop over 3 seconds. Samantha Grennan, her Bryant teammate, takes second. It's Olivia Conlon from Merrimack who takes third. So Bryant goes 1 and 2. A heat victory. And I believe that'll be a event victory. So Stannard should have the top time going into finals tonight. Actually, Bailey Gold was in the 206s as well, I believe. So Stannard should be the 1 or 2 seed along either Bailey Gold or Stannard. As we move into event 42, it's the men's 2 fly. There will be 4 heats on the men's side. Do we have a little bit of a delay here? Is there... I'm looking around for the official that typically handles the DQs, and there are none. We did not have that swimmer in lane 9 on our sheet, so it's an unidentified clock swimmer. Nice job. Finishing up in one of the most brutal events, the 2 fly. Talked about this last night. Some events that a lot of swimmers dread swimming. 2 fly up there on the list along with the 4 IM. So we move into heat 1 of the men's 2 fly. Peter Epp from Bentley comes in with the top time. Charles Keene from Bryant leading the way. Let's get into the men's 1 IM finalists. There will be a B and a final. Swimming in the B final, Robbie Wilson, Tyler Broderick, Liam Harris, Shane Conroy, Edward Arafiev, Kenneth Ryu, Michael Motizi, Rocky Tang. Swimming in the A final, Calvin Yee, Ben Lee, Marcelo Carrion, Josh Sellers, Michael Fracciola, Andrew Ingo, Zachary Cheung, Connor Lofstrom, Alex Volan, and our top overall seed going into tonight's 100 IM finals with a time of 52:24, the senior from Bentley University, Tanner Eisenhut. So we're pretty much caught up, folks, with the finals until I get my next series of updates. So that's already better than we were doing for you yesterday. We always want to service our viewers, so making sure that you have all the information you need. Charles Keene remains the leader, swimming out of lane 3. He's on his way home. $2:15.70 the time he's chasing, and I have a feeling this is going to be a big drop as well, and it will be 9 seconds. 2:06.19 for Keene. Compton takes second. Mahachuk takes third. Up around 130 viewers. If you're just joining us, we're live at WPI for Day 3 prelims of the Gompei Invitational here at WPI in lovely Worcester, Massachusetts, alongside Avery Abreu on production and Samantha from the WPI Sports and Information Department. I am Jeremy Abreu from Abreu Media Productions, bringing you all the live action here this weekend. It's been quite the amazing weekend in terms of performances by these amazing student athletes. We've mentioned it many times. The time drops for a mid-season non-tapered meet have been nothing short of amazing. So congratulations to all of the swimmers out there. We'll have some diving coverage for you today at 1:30. And finals tonight will begin at 5 o'clock. So just a quick note, the past 2 nights we've had finals at 6 o'clock. Tonight, Sunday night, trying to get everybody out a little early in preparation for the work and school week. 5 o'clock start for finals tonight. Kevin Yanagasawa from Rowan came in with the top time. Right now, though, He's battling with Kyle Stabi at the 150-yard mark. Yanagasawa from Rowan, Stabi from WPI. Yanagasawa has pulled ahead. Swimming out of lane 5, Stabi in lane 6. Yanagasawa came in with a 154.93. He's a grad student at Rowan. And he'll win this one going away, 152.44, 2.5 second time drop. Kyle Stabi takes second. Anthony Vizintil takes third from Bentley. So we move into heat 3 of 4. Andrew Gamper comes into heat 3 with your top time, 154.22. He's in lane 5 from Bryant. You'll also see Griffin LaJoy here, coming off his good performance in the 1IM. James Chan from Springfield out in front early in lane 6. You'll see a lot of different breathing patterns here in this 2-fly. Many swimmers through the first 100 will try and go every 2 or 3 strokes without breathing, and then they'll switch it up to the second half. They'll breathe every stroke potentially or as needed. A lot of swimmers right from the start are breathing on every stroke just to get into a rhythm. Andrew Gamper from Bryant leads the way. He's followed by TJ Modersky from Rowan and the aforementioned Chan in lane 6. It's Gamper, though, swimming from out in front, a little past the halfway mark. James Chan at his feet, as is TJ Modersky from Rowan. Gamper's lead is a second, a little over a second over Chan, a little over a second and a half over Modersky. Those are your top 3. With about 25 yards to go here in event 42, heat 3. It's the men's 2-fly. Gamper puts the finishing touches on a 153.82. He'll drop about a half a second. Chan comes back to sneak in a second, 156.37. TJ Modersky from Rowan takes third, 158.66, a 3-second drop for Modersky. Andrew Gamper, your Heat 3 winner. We'll move into our 4th and final heat of this men's 2-fly, where we'll see the senior from Rowan, Joe Rucci. Top time coming in, 151.89. Rucci has had himself a nice weekend as well. Again, Rucci in lane 5 from Rowan. We saw James Chan in the last heat. We see Jonathan Chan, the sophomore from Springfield, in this heat. Joe Rucci out in front at the 50-yard mark. 9/10 ahead of Chan, second ahead of Delia. Not much has changed at the halfway mark. Rucci out in a 52.72, leading the way. Delia moves up into second. Chan drops down into third. So a little change there, but nothing at the very top where Joe Rucci looks very comfortable swimming from out in front. 3/4 of the way through this two fly as he'll make the turn for his final 50, 121.48. And you'll watch Rucci. He breathes every stroke. If you look at Matthew Delia in lane 4, he'll breathe every other stroke. So again, it's all what works for each individual swimmer. It's all what you feel comfortable with. It's all how much oxygen those muscles need. And Joe Rucci will take this one home. 150.68 for Rucci. It's a little over a second time drop. Delia comes in second, Chan third. As we move into event 43, it's the women's 100 freestyle. So we're cruising through the program this morning. I have to warn you, though, folks, we do have the mile at the end. So we're going to be cruising until we get to the mile. Not a lot of cruising there, but we'll talk about combined scores, individual performances. We'll make it work there for the mile. We'll bring you continuing coverage here from the Gompei Invitational at Bryant University.
Event 43, women's 100-yard freestyle, heat 1 of 7.
Heat 1 of 7, Reagan Lord will be in lane 4, Victoria Corcoran in 5, Becky Young in lane 6. Great start by Reagan Lord in lane 4. Amazing reaction time there. 20 yards in, and she already had a full body length lead due to that start. And again, in these shorter sprint type events, which the 100 free is, reaction time / starts and turns, it's where these races are won and lost. Lord comes from a swimming family. Her sister Hannah, oh, this is going to get me. Hannah, I believe, swims at Lehigh. I could be wrong. And her younger sister Avery is either a freshman or a senior in high school and committed to swim in college this year. Lord goes at 55.15. Young second, Corcoran third. Gonna have to look that up now. So yes, Hannah Lord is a swimmer at Lehigh. And just to close the loop,
The results for the men's 200-yard butterfly, starting with the alternates, Daniel Donahue and Devin Mealy. Next for C-final, Rowan Compton and Bernier Tyler.
we're in heat number 2. Rachel Thilo from Bentley comes in with the top time. Right now it's Audrey Dino leading the way in lane 4.
For B-final, Griffin LaJoy, Rocco Evangelista, Brandon Naylor, Gerald Dang, AJ Martinez, Tal Spector, Aiden Chenery, Joshua Kim, TJ Moberski, and Jake Williams.
Dino continues to lead the way at the halfway mark. Actually, no, at the end of the race. I'm thinking we're still in two fly. Audrey Dino takes heat number 2. Tiffany Kirkland second. Rachel Thilo third. We'll move into heat 3. You can tell this is day 3. Erin Sweeney comes into heat 3 with the top time. 59.99 from Babson. So I don't think... 3 Babson swimmers, lanes 4, 5, and 6, they all come in with a 59.99. So my guess is that they maybe haven't had a recent time in this event. So coach put them in at 59.99, you know, kind of guesstimating where they would fall around. It's almost, it's probably more like winning the lottery. The odds are that 3 swimmers on the same team would be a 59.99. Lydia Moliteri from Merrimack leads the way in lane 2. Followed by Caitlin Karen, Riley Joss. Who's going to touch first? Is it Karen? And it will be 57 flat for Karen. Jost takes second. Eurista takes third. So we move into our 4th heat of the one free. 7 heats here.
Heat 4.
Looks like lane 2 will be open. Top seed coming in, Catherine Curry here in lane 4 from Babson, 57.86. Right behind her, Riley Wirtanen from Bryant, 58.04. Wirtanen will be in the A final for the 1IM tonight. Let's see if she can come back in another event. Right now, it's Eleanor Ross from WPI. The junior came in with a 58.51. And it will be Eleanor Ross from WPI, 54.62. She'll drop almost 4 seconds. Riley Wirtanen takes second. KC McLeod takes third. I do have 200 butterfly results, so I'm going to go to them as soon as this race starts for you. You see the lane assignments on the screen. Women's 2-fly C final will be Katerina Milinovic and Catherine Wade. In the B final, Sophia Wong, Chloe Johnson, Rachel Thilo, Molly Kleindinst, Aria Smith, Emily Munjar, Molly Sykes, Jordan Nusback, Lauren Walls, and Elizabeth Athanas. In the A final will be Caroline Hubert, Lily Rice, Olivia Conlin, Megan Donnelly, April Kupski, Charlie Legalis, Samantha Grennan, Natalie Kuipers, Bailey Gold, and our top overall seed. Going into tonight's 2 butterfly finals with a time of 2:16.18, it's Julia Stennard from Bryant. We'll get you those men's 200 fly results right at the start of the next race. Charlemagne from Springfield, 52.67. Springfield goes 1 and 2. Kay Shen taking second. Laurel Carey from Bryant takes third.
Heat 6.
Speeding along in our program. Heat 6 of 7. Jordan McChesney. Top time here in Heat 6, 53.56. She's a senior from Rowan. Looks like we had a goggle breakage in lane 3. Elizabeth Jones broke a pair of goggles. She's in lane 3 from Rowan, and it looks like it was a Babson men's swimmer who handed her their goggles. Now those didn't work, so another Babson swimmer, looks like it was Sophia Sanawaj, loaned her goggles to Jones. Again, another exemplary example of just good people helping people, and we're off here on heat number 6. Jordan McChesney comes in with the top time, like I mentioned. Really good sign of sportsmanship there, so I just want to make sure I got that out there. Sophia Snenwaj from Babson was the swimmer who gave her goggles to Elizabeth Jones from Rowan. And for these swimmers, I think everyone understands the anxiety when you're on the starting blocks and you're about to put your goggles on and they break. It's happens probably once every meet, maybe more, and that panic and anxiety is probably enough to shoot that heart rate through the roof. So great sportsmanship there. Erin Daruska from Bryant in a three-way battle, and she does outtouch McChesney and Figueroa. They go 1, 2, 3. And in another great sign of sportsmanship, the Babson swimmer, Sophia, greets Elizabeth Jones, gives her a big high five. They have a little conversation there. I love seeing that stuff. Fantastic, fantastic sportsmanship. As we move into Heat 7, I didn't get you the men's 2-fly finals. We'll get that at the beginning of the men's 100 free. Good start by Emma Rennie of Brandeis and Jill Carline from Bryant. So as we mentioned yesterday, Carline, the reigning Massachusetts state champion in the 100 and 200 free. She also comes into this 100 free as the top seed. Oh, and she's a freshman as well. So Carline will take Heat 7. Undoubtedly, she will be the top seed going into tonight. 51-69 for Carline. Rennie takes second, Gonzalez third. Carline drops almost 2 seconds.
Event 44, men's 100-yard freestyle, Heat 1 of 7.
There are your lane assignments for Heat 1 of the men's 100 free. Here are your finalists for the men's 2-fly tonight. Alternates, Daniel Donahue, Devin Mahaichuk swimming in the C final. Rowan Compton, Brynave Twyman, Kyle Brown, John Kim, Charles Keene, Chuck London, Joey Toomey, Christopher Thomas, Matthew Segui, and Alvin Owen Toro swimming in the B final. Griffin LaJoy, Rocco Evangelista, Brandon Naylor, Gerald Dang, Al Martinez, Tal Spector, Aiden Trenery, Josh Kim, TJ Modersky, and Jake Williams. And swimming in the A final will be Nikita Zvev, Sam Bundy, Anthony Vizantil, James Chan, Jonathan Chan, Matthew Delia, Kyle Stobby, Andrew Gamper, Kevin Yanagisauer, and our top overall seed with the time of 1:50.68, the senior from Rowan, Joe Rucci. So we're caught up. Chris Kerrigan is caught up as well with a Heat 1 victory, 51.09. Danny Callahan takes second. Leon Kisler will take third as we move into Heat number 2. So I'm feeling a little better now that we're getting all these results out to you and you know who is swimming in what. There are your lane assignments for Heat 2. Henry Lynch comes in with the top time. Lane 9 is open, so we have an open lane 9. Tyler Marzano from Bentley leading the way. He's followed by Henry Lynch. Jacob Zukowski, also from Bentley. Again, these 100 frees go pretty quick. Then the 50 breast will go even quicker. Heat 3 in the water. Christopher Medola from Rowan comes in with the top time in Heat 3, 51.01. The meet record was set in 2016 by Jesse Novak, 43.82. So as we look at Heat 7, we get our top overall seed, Zachary Chung, of 46.50. Normally I would say a 3-second drop in the 100 that's a lot. That's a big drop. But the way things have gone this weekend, it would not surprise me to see someone like Chiang, who is swimming very well this weekend, drop 3 seconds and get that meet record. Wellington Chen from Bentley takes home first, 49.02. Shogo Kamai from Babson takes second, and it's Solomon Skelton Harris taking third. Yes, Sherry, that sportsmanship was awesome. Had a little mishap on the blocks over there. Looks like everyone's all right. But yes, so getting back to that sportsmanship, in case you missed it, so Elizabeth Jones from Rowan was on the blocks, or getting ready to get on the blocks. She goes to put her goggles on, and I didn't quite see what happened, but obviously she broke her goggles. So maybe the plastic nose piece snapped, the strap broke, right? It happens, and it's super anxiety-inducing. I can only imagine if I was a swimmer, and I know it's happened to my daughter many times, the panic that sets in when everyone's waiting for you, and that happens. You're looking around just for somebody to give you goggles. One of the Babson male swimmers gave her his goggles. I think the adjustments were a little off. She probably felt a little panicked. The swimmer from, and I already forgot, it was another Babson swimmer, I believe. Yes, it was Babson. Sonia, it's a tough last name, Sznewajs. So Senwaj stepped up, gave Elizabeth the goggles, and the rest is history. So, yes, amazing sportsmanship. Love to see it. Gore Baggerman, the winner of heat number 4. Matthew Crane takes second. Marshall Wilson third as we move into heat 5. And again, that's what sports it's all about, right? I mean, obviously, everybody wants to win. Not everybody is going to win. But the sportsmanship at the end of the day is what defines each of these athletes. And you had no less than 2 athletes just step up immediately and give Elizabeth those goggles. So great to see. Fantastic story as we move into heat number 5. Eric Zhao, Connor Lofstrom in lanes 5 and 6. Looks like it's Zhao and Lofstrom still. Connor Lofstrom from Bryant could be slightly ahead, and he is. He starts to pull away here at the end, so it will be Lofstrom, 47-14. Volan sneaks into second. Zhao takes third, 47-14 for Lofstrom. It's almost a half a second time drop as we move into heat 6. Griffin LaJoy from Bryant in lane 5 comes in with the top time. Actually, lane 5 is open. So Griffin LaJoy would have come in with the top time. He's a scratch. Anthony Vizantil from Bentley is also a scratch. So 2 middle lanes are open. That puts Max Wagant as the top time coming in. But right now it's Ryan Looney from Bentley leading the way. John Puxta running in second from WPI. Looney takes heat number 6, 47-82 for Looney. Greenfield moves up into second. John Puxta takes third. WPI goes 2 and 3. So we move into our final heat. Heat number 7 will find Zachary Chung here. So as we mentioned, Chung is 3 seconds away from the meet record. 43.82 is the meet record. Chung comes in with a 46.50. Again, 3 seconds is a pretty big drop. I think we had a DQ. So I think we may have a DQ somewhere along the line as I see the officials talking to one of the coaches. I can't quite make out the school down in the back. Left hand side of the pool. But we're ready to go with our 7th and final heat. So Zachary Cheung comes in with the top time here, 46.50. Lane 7 is open. That's Toby Conbley from Rowan. Off and running on our final heat of the men's 100 free. Paul Ryder from Rowan. He may be challenging this meet record. 22.06 for Rowan, for Ryder from Rowan at the halfway mark. It's going to have to come home in 9 seconds, so that's probably not going to happen, but Ryder blazing a trail here from Rowan in lane 2. But it's Rosen, Alex Rosen from Brown, who outtouches him by 1/100th of a second. 46.99 from Rosen, 47 flat from Ryder. Luke Zongetti, 47.60. So Alex Rosen, 46.99. Your Heat 7 winner. He shaves almost a second and a half off his time. We'll move into event 45. It's the 50 breast. There's 3 heats on the men's and women's side. These are quick races, folks, about 30 seconds each. I believe after this 50 breast, we will have a break because that will be right before the relays. Sophia Grabman comes into heat number 1 here of the 50 breast with the top time, 31.56. She's a sophomore from Bryant University. Is it going to be Audrey Teo? No, it's Audrey Daniels who takes first from Babson. Zuliani takes second. Teo takes third in our opening heat. 31.64 for Daniels. It's almost a second and a half of dropped time there. So we move into heat number 2. Nina Lamb from Springfield comes in with the top time. Again, these are very quick races up and back for the 50 breast. Lamb came in with the top time. She leads the way. She will take our second heat. 30-14 for Lamb. She'll drop a full second. Lee comes in second. Third place goes to Adriana Ewan from WPI. And just like that, we'll move into our third and final heat.
Heat 3.
Nellie Clark with the top time coming in. She's a freshman from Bryant. Comes in with a 30 flat. Eleanor Ross looking strong from WPI in lane 3. And it looks like it will be Ross. And it is Ross with a heat victory. 30-83. Clark takes second. Saffer from Merrimack takes third. We'll move into the men's 50 breaststroke.
Event 46, men's 50-yard breaststroke, heat 1 of 3.
Three heats on the men's side. Alex Rosen comes in with the top time from Bryant. 27 flat.
100-yard freestyle. There's a swim off for the second alternate between Solomon Skelton Harris and Gavin Wong. The other alternate is James Smith. For C final, Henry Lynch, Marshall Wilson, Gavin McCullough, Dan Forsythe, Aiden Downing-Lamprey, Shogo Camille, Dominic Marco, Chase Constakos.
Alex Rousen came in with the top time. He's leading the way here, and it looks like he'll go out with the top time. Rosen 27.63. Lyons second. Ryu third as we move into heat number 2. Very quick program this morning. So it looks like there is going to be a swim off for the first alternate for the 100 free on the men's side. So we'll have that for you when it happens. Eric Jiao from Brandeis comes into heat 2 with the top time. And as I was just about to say, we are cruising through the program here this morning. We'll slow it up a little bit when we get to the mile. Eric Zhao from Brandeis. We'll take heat number 2, 27.75. Jake Thomas, second. KC Green will take third. That will bring us to our third and final heat of the men's 50 breast. Jimmy Kundratz from Rowan in lane 5 has the top time coming in. He's a freshman, 26.35. Kundratz with the lead pretty early on, and it will be Kundratz. 26.25. He'll drop a tenth of a second. Shogo Kamai from Babson takes second. Viet An Nguyen from Springfield will take third. Now let's see what we're doing here, folks. This could be a break. I believe it will be a break, probably a 10-minute break before relays. And it looks like it is because the swimmers are in the pool. We'll take this break with them. Unfortunately, folks, I'll keep the video up. I'm going to have to turn the audio down in case they play music. I do need to step away from the table for a second. Yes, there will be a 10-minute break. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the mixed 400-yard freestyle relay. Again, you're watching continuing coverage of the Gompei Invitational. This is day 3 prelims from WPI in Worcester, Massachusetts. Welcome back to WPI for continuing coverage of the Gompei Invitational. Once again, I am Jeremy Abreu, bringing you all the coverage here today. So, on our programs and heat sheets, we have the mixed 4 freestyle relay, but it looks like this is going to be the start of the mile. So, oh no, we are doing the relay. They just, I don't know, I'm very confused because they had the mile up on the screen. Now it just got changed to the relay, but doesn't look like all the relay teams are behind the blocks and ready to go here. So we shall see. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the 4 freestyle relay. That's what it says in the program. They're waiting for everyone to clear the pool. Here this morning, we flew through the program here. Again, diving today is a 1:30 start, so just keep that in mind. Past 2 days, it's been 1 o'clock. It'll be a shorter program today. And then finals tonight, 5 o'clock start. So 5 o'clock, we'll be kicking off finals an hour earlier than we have the previous 2 nights. Sunday night, trying to get everybody out and on the road and home a little earlier ahead of the work week and school week. Once again, it's been a fantastic weekend of swimming here at WPI. WPI does an amazing job in hosting this meet. When you think of the preeminent pools in New England, WPI certainly at the top of that list, not only in terms of the pool facility, but the staff here at WPI, the location, the accommodations, everything you can think of is available to you here in Worcester. It looks like it is going to be the relays. To be honest, I'm not sure. Here we go. There's the whistle.
Event 55 mixed 400-yard freestyle relay.
All right. So event 55 mixed 400 freestyle relay. I have some results to read to you. So there's all your information on the screen. We'll pick up the race after the results. Here are the results of the women's 100 freestyle. So first 2 alternates are Catherine Curry and Casey McLeod. Swimming in the C final will be Madison Capria, Becca Kaplan, Mads Green, Riley Wirtanen, Michaela Pierce, Erin Kelleher, Elizabeth Jones, Hannah King, Nicole Caruso, and Reagan Lord. Swimming in the B final, Natalie Chamberlain, Laura Jones, Eleanor Ross, Morgan Foltz, Sophia Senwaj, Kendra Daly, Lada DiMascolo, Jenna Wild, Hallie Campbell, Kate Galvin. Swimming in the A final, Andrea Wu, Chloe Gonzalez, Laurel Corey, Marcella Figueroa, Jordan McChesney, Kay Shen, Erin Daruska, Emma Rennie, McKaylee Charlemagne, and our top overall qualifier with a time of 51.69, the freshman from Bryant University, Jill Carline. Moving into the men's 100 freestyle results and finals for tonight, there will be a swim-off for the second alternate spot. It will be between Solomon Skelton Harris and Gavin Luong. The other alternate is James Smith. Swimming in the C final will be Henry Lynch, Marshall Wilson, Gavin McCullough, Dan Forsyth, Aiden Downey Lamprey, Shogo Kamai, Dominic Marco, Chase Constantakos, Wellington Chen, and Andrew Dang. Swimming in the B final will be Christian Werner, Max Wagan, Andrew Ngo, Zachary Chiang, Tyler Mazzano, Matthew Crane, Mason Campbell, Blake Albanese, John Puxta, Sergio Torres. And swimming in the A final will be Jordan McMillan, Aiden Greenfield, Ryan Looney, Eric Zhao, Alex Volan, Luke Zongetti, Connor Lofstrom, Gore Baguman, Paul Ryder, and our top overall seed with a time of 46.99 by 1/100th of a second. It will be Alex Rosen, who is a sophomore from Bryant University. So you're all caught up. in terms of the results that I have. I don't have the 50 breast results yet. I'm sure they're going to bring them up to me. And then we will be all caught up. WPID looks like they're in the lead here in lane 5. Lanes 1, 2, 9, and 10 are open. WPIG in lane 3. WPIE in 4. WPID in 5. Clark D in 6. WPIF in 7. WPIH in lane 8. So it's a pool full of goats. Except for lane 6 with Clark. We'll be watching those relay exchanges. That one, interesting, because if you were watching the officials on that one, the Clark transition, and I might have caught it a little off, but I did see the officials raise their hands there. So we'll see what that brings, but WPID in lane 5 remains the leader and the winner, 336.90. WPIE takes second. WPIF takes third. So 4 heats of this mixed 400 freestyle relay as we move into heat number 2. Again, we'll close out our morning with 6 heats of the mile. Fortunately, we are running ahead of schedule at 10:40, so we should be done this morning by noontime. So before 12 o'clock, or right at 12 o'clock. There are your final results as we move into heat number 2.
Heat 2.
WPIA comes in with what would be the top time, but I don't have any times for these teams. My sheet has NT, no time. Lane 5, though, typically is the fastest seeded team or individual. We hope to see you all back tonight for finals as we look to break 200 and I'm going to say 225. I'm going to keep those expectations in check. 209 or 210 viewers last night. WPIA leads the way. C in second, B in third. So WPI 1, 2, and 3 right now. .10:42 here. Beautiful day in Worcester, Massachusetts. Quite cold, but at least there's no rain. Like yesterday, clear skies, sunny. Just ran out to my car for a second. Probably 30, I don't know, 35, 38 degrees. Typical for Worcester, Mass for the beginning of December. WPIB at last check had moved into first. It's now Rowan A who has moved into first, so 2 lead changes thus far. It was WPIA after the 50 and the 100, then WPIB at the 150, now Rowan A at the 200. Now it's back to WPIB with the lead. WPIA in second. WPIC in third. Rowan has dropped down to fourth. So we'll see what this next check-in gives us at the 300-yard mark. And it's WPIB in lane 2 with the lead, followed by WPIA and WPIC. So no change there. As we are well into our final 100. WPIA is now moved into first. WPIB drops down to second. WPIC is third. So ABC for WPI is 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it finishes like that. And it looks like WPIA will take it. It will. No, Rowan A sneaks into third, bumping WPIC. So WPIA and B go 1 and 2. Rowan A takes third. As we move into heat number 3, as we will move into heat number 3. There are your final results from Heat 2. WPI A and B go 1 and 2. Rowan A takes the third spot as we move to the third heat. Bryant occupying lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6, as you see. J, I, G, H relays, respectively. So strike that. 3, 4, and 6 empty. So 3 out of those 4 Bryant relay teams scratching here. Bryant G, the lone relay team. Brandeis A and B lead the way, first and second right now. Brandeis A leads the way at the 100-yard mark. They're followed closely by Brandeis B and Bentley B. In these 400 free relays where each swimmer swims a 100, anything can happen, anything can change. Lead changes are typically the norm. Brandeis A continues to lead at the halfway mark. Bentley B moves from third into second. Brandeis B moves from second down to third. Besides that, not a lot of change going on. Brandeis A still leading the way in lane 2. You see them at the bottom of your screen here, going from right to left. Female swimmer with a light-colored cap. 2.25 second lead over Bentley B. 2.5 over Bryant G. It's alphabet soup here for the relays this weekend. Many of these schools fielding numerous relays. I think last night or Friday night, The number was 55 relay swimmers on for all of WPI's entrants. Brandeis A remains in the lead, so they're going to try and go coast to coast here. They've led since the 50-yard mark. They haven't looked back. Again, folks, I don't have the names of the relay swimmers. If I did, I'd give them to you. And a lot of the time what happens is it's a very fluid situation. So especially with a relay event like this happening towards the latter part of the session, there could be a time where the 4 swimmers that you think as the coach are going to be your swimmers, something could change in the morning as you watch Brandeis A with the victory. Bryant G comes back and takes second. Bentley B takes third. So maybe you had a swimmer tweak something in the morning, or maybe they're too exhausted from the 2 fly, or maybe who knows what happens. Maybe someone turned in a performance that you didn't expect, and you want to give them a shot in one of those relays if they weren't already scheduled for it. So the relays are typically very fluid. Mary Buckley checking in. Good morning, everyone. Go WPI. WPI having themselves a good meet here as we move into our 4th and final heat. We'll go over those team and individual scores and points when we get into the mile. Again, those were going into this morning, so things will change tonight. Of course, tonight we'll get you the final standings and scores and points and all of that good stuff. Off and running on our final relay event of the morning. It's Heat 4. Bryant A comes in with the top time, 3:24.00. Bryant out in front early, 22:46. Bryant will put a male swimmer to start it off, as does every team in the water. Second swimmers in the water. Bryant with the lead by 0.8 of a second. Bryant continues to maintain that lead, even growing it a little bit. Picked up a 0.5 second in that last 50. We'll get a reset here as they hand off to their third swimmer. The lead is a little over 3.25 seconds over Bryant B. Bryant C running in third, so similar to the situation we had in the first heat. We have Bryant A, B, C right now, 1, 2, and 3. We'll see if that holds up. Bentley A is running in fourth. They're not far behind the Bryant C team, so we'll see how that shakes out. But for right now, at the 250-yard mark, it is Bryant A leading the way, 2:04.58. Anchors away for Bryant A. They'll put their anchor swimmer into the water. Again, they've led this thing from the initial 50. They lead by 2.5 seconds. Seems like a pretty safe lead over Bryant B. We'll see. Bryant C is still running in third place. And now there's been a little changing of the guard. Bentley A has moved into third. So Bentley A in lane 4 has moved into third. Bryant A in first. Bryant B in second. They will be your first two. And it will be Bentley who takes third. So nice job by Bryant here. Going 1 and 2. 320.21 for A. 321.48 for B. Bentley A goes 325.25. And now we will move into the mile. Dun, dun, dun. 8 heats of the mile coming up. Excuse me, 6. Don't want to scare anybody, but again, we're ahead of schedule. 10:54. We should get done right around 12 o'clock, 12:10. We will wait for the scorers table to update and bring back to the mile entrance. There will be 3 heats. We'll rotate women's, men's, women's, men's, women's, men's. Okay, this could be that swim off that I mentioned earlier. If so, it's going to be between Solomon Skelton Harris from Brandeis and Gavin Luong from Rowan. It is. This will be the swim off. So I can tell you Rowan will be in lane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Rowan swimmer, who is Gavin Luong, will be in 5. Solomon Skelton Harris from Brandeis will be in lane 6. Now, there could be a third or a fourth swimmer here doing a time trial. That's what we did see yesterday, because they are setting up the blocks for someone in lane 1. Maybe, maybe not. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the swim off. Solomon Skelton Harris from Brandeis, he'll be in 6. Gavin Luong from Rowan will be in 5. And this is for the second alternate. So the winner remains the second alternate. The person who comes in second here will be theoretically the third alternate, if it gets that far down. So again, when they do swim-offs or heats that weren't scheduled previously, we don't get that data, at least with the Colorado timing systems that are used here at WPI. With the Daktronics timing systems, we do get changes on the fly. But here we go, folks. Gavin Luong from Rowan in lane 5. Solomon Skelton Harris from Brandeis in 6. There will be a female WPI swimmer, likely time trialing here. And she is doing the butterfly, so yes, she is time trialing. And it looks like it's going to be Gavin Luong from Rowan leading the way at the halfway mark. So Gavin Luong from Rowan, the sophomore, leads the way over Skelton Harris from Brandeis. And it is Gavin Luong who takes it 48-30, so Luong will be the second alternate, excuse me. The 50 butterflyer in lane 3 for WPI went a 25.70. I don't know who that is. I don't have that information, but Gavin Luong will now be the second alternate. So nice race between Luong and Solomon Skelton Harris. That brings us to the mile. So this does not look like what I have on my heat sheet for heat 1. This looks like heat 3. But this is who is lined up. I see Lydia Molatieri in lane 1 from Merrimack. I see Rowan in lane 10. So what you see on the screen is correct, folks. These will be the swimmers for the mile. If you're following along, if there is a heat sheet in Meet Mobile, just keep in mind that on your heat sheet, if you're able to see that in Meet Mobile, this heat 1, which they're going to run with, it might be in there as heat number 3. Thank you, Melissa Grennan. I hope to be here for America East and New Max, so we'll see what happens with that. Of course, out of my control, but if all the cards fall where I'd like them to, I'll be back here broadcasting for both of those. Again, I got to check the dates, too. I know for New Max, I believe that date was open on my calendar with no meets that weekend. I got to check the dates of America East if that would even be an option. Do have a lot of New England Swimming Championship meets coming up in that January, February, March timeframe. But yes, this was fantastic. My first collegiate meet, and it was everything I thought it would be, so very excited. And it also brings me a lot of excitement thinking about my own daughter, who will be swimming hopefully at the college level in 2 years. She's a junior this year, so it just gets me that much more excited for that. And we're underway in the mile. So in lane 1 from Merrimack, you'll find Lydia Molatieri. In lane 2 from Springfield, Emma Savoy. In lane 3 from WPI, it's Kylie Herbstuber. In lane 4 from Brandeis, it's Becca Kaplan. In lane 5 from Brandeis, it's Jenna Wild. In lane 6 from Springfield, it's Lefteri Roba. In lane 7 from Rowan, it's Molly Kleindinst. In lane 8 and 9 from Merrimack, Erin Knight and Sophia Matera, respectively. And in lane 10 from Rowan, it's Maria McMahon. So I have some updates for you. So we get some results for you. The event 45, which was the women's 50-yard breaststroke. Swimming in the C final. Oh, please don't play music right now because we'll have to kill our audio. I don't think they're going to. Baina Shaparian and Peyton Dawley swimming in the B final. Ashlyn Bear, Christina Sung, Hannah Poulos, Alex Pickett, Grace Susi, Sophie Cretion, Kinsley Ginsberg, Sophia Kriegsman, Emmy Nelson, Adriana Ewan. And swimming in the A final, Sofia Grabin, Bella Stefanovic, Gabby Saffer, Audrey Teau, Angela Lee, Cameron Zuliani, Audrey Daniels, Nellie Clark, Eleanor Ross, and our top overall seed with a time of 30:14, the sophomore from Springfield College, Nina Lamb. Now we'll move into the men's 50-yard breaststroke. Swimming in the C final, Lucas Shapiro, Max Lucier, Dier Davletov, Robbie Wilson, and Aiden Nixon. Swimming in the B final, Julian Poindexter, Leon Kinsler, Jack Duria, Oak Cornsry, Alex Bilecki, Spencer Studley, Eric Sherney, Alan Harkins, Fraser Milligan, and Casey Green. Swimming in the A final, Bora Hurst, Tyler Broderick, Kenneth Ryu, Jake Thomas, Ashton Lyon, Ryan Burke, Eric Zhao, Viet Ang Guyan, Shogo Kamai, and our top overall seed with the time of 26:25 this morning, the freshman from Rowan, Jimmy Kundratz. So you are effectively caught up with the finalists here, which is a beautiful thing. Kevin Kolb from Michigan, go blue. I hope it's a go blue family, Kevin. I'm a big Michigan fan here, the University of. What really drew me to Michigan and the Wolverines many years ago was the Fab Five. So I was in high school during the Fab Five, really the college basketball team that transformed college basketball. When you think about the baggy shorts, even though they're back to, like, a lot of schools are back to tight shorts now. The baggy shorts, the black socks. So the Fab Five was big for me. Also, my friend Shaka Daly is the head men's soccer coach at the University of Michigan. So Shaka was a soccer player up here at Providence College. Went on to play a little bit in the MLS, I believe, with the New England Revolution. Was the head coach at Providence College after that, and he's been at Michigan now for 5 or 6 years, maybe more. So you always got to be careful with Michigan. I don't know, are you a Wolverine? Are you a Spartan? I know there's a lot of great schools in Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan. So thank you for the kind words, Kevin. That's what we try and do. I just try and have fun, right? This is not, even if this was my only job, nobody just wants to get on here and be bored and not crack a laugh for a little bit. I try not to take myself too serious. Self-deprecating humor is always my favorite. And believe me, with me, there's plenty of it because I make plenty of mistakes. Mickey Akita says, from the Rec Center turf. All right. The Rec Center turf, that must be upstairs, I think. This is a beautiful Rec Center here at WPI. So, folks, coming into this morning, so again, with the mile, I'm not going to give you an update on every single swimmer at every turn. On the top left-hand side, you'll always see the leaders, their names flash. And, we'll give you camera coverage of everyone in the pool. Oh, Mickey's downstairs at ticket sales. All right, down at the front desk. Yeah, you guys looked, I just went out to my car. You guys looked a little bored a few minutes ago. I went out to my car, came back in. It's a little lonely place right now down in the ticket booth. I don't think there's many people coming in or out at the moment, but I digress. As we get into this morning, the combined team scores were as follows. Bryant University, actually, no. Yeah, no, we'll start at the top. I was going to build up some suspense, but I ruined it already. See, self-deprecating humor, always key. Leave it to me to mess it up. We'll start at the top. Bryant University leads the way, 4,474 points. WPI in second, 2,784 points. Rowan in third, 2,629 points. Fourth place is Springfield College with 2,539.5 points. Followed by Brandeis, 2,219.5 points. Bentley, 2,211. Babson, 2,182.5. Merrimack, 784. And Clark, 695.5. So Bryant University well in the lead, likely on their way to winning their fourth or fifth in a row. Hold on. I think this might be the fifth. 1, 2, 3, fourth in a row. So Bryant well on their way to winning their fourth in a row here. When we take a look at individual scores, on the men's side, again, this is coming into this morning. Christopher Smith, the freshman from WPI, leads all men, 131 points. So nice job by Christopher Smith. Tanner Eisenhut, the only other men's swimmer over 100. It's the senior from Bentley, 101 points. Roman San Juan, a freshman from Bryant, 99 points. Joe Rucci, the senior from Rowan, 98 points. He's tied with Sam Dienstag from Brandeis with 98 points. Occupying sixth place is Mason Campbell, the freshman from Bryant, 92.5 points, followed by Michael Fracciola, the junior from Rowan, with 90 points. There's a tie for eighth place, Josh Schellers and Ben Lee, Babson College and Brandeis, respectively, with 89 points. And rounding out the top 10, it's Jonathan Chan, the sophomore from Springfield, with 86 points. So those are your men's scores. As we move over to the women's side, it's Jill Carline. Once again, there's a theme here. These freshmen are tearing it up. Jill Carline's a freshman from Bryant University, the only female swimmer with 100 points right on the dot. And she's likely going to build on that pretty significantly tonight in that 100 free final where she is the top seed. Ella Pennington, freshman from Rowan, is second with 98 points. So our top two swimmers, both freshmen on the women's side, almost totaling 200 points. April Kupski from Babson is third with 96. Nina Lamb, sophomore from Springfield, fourth with 94. Charlie Legalis, sophomore from Bryant, with 92. Nellie Clark, the freshman from Bryant, with 91. Erin Daruska, the senior from Bryant, with 91. So Nellie Clark and Daruska are tied for sixth. And eighth, it's Leah Kalb from WPI. She's a sophomore with 89. Monica Izuka is part of a three-way tie for ninth, with Andrea Wu from WPI, who's also a freshman, and Marcella Figueroa, a freshman from Bryant. Those three have 88 points. So that's where we stood going into this morning. We'll get you final results tonight, I promise, because I'm going to be pushing on them to get me results fast. Because as you can imagine, folks, when Sunday night comes and that final race ends, everybody else just kind of packs up their stuff and goes home. I probably have about an hour of packing up to do of equipment, and then about an hour ride home. So I think everyone on that Sunday night, when everything ends, is anxious to get the ball rolling, but we will get you results, I promise. Yeah, you know, Robert, it's very difficult from our position to get a full pool shot from where we are. and I'll tell you why. In order to get the shot wide enough and situated toward the middle of the pool here, the swimmers would look like ants on the screen. So just from where we're situated, it's very difficult to get a whole pool shot. And that's the toughest part about covering distance, is inevitably you got 10 swimmers and they're all at different paces at different times and they're all over the place. So that, trust me, that is on the roadmap for a Brew Media Productions, is to figure out how to get at a venue like WPI, how to get a camera closer, physically closer to the pool and in the middle where it's not in the way of spectators or anyone, but I can get a wide shot of the pool. Also, it's very difficult when you get closer and get wide, because then you get that fisheye effect on the lens, almost like when you're looking through your peephole of your door, and that doesn't look good either. So I do apologize. Kylie is swimming exceptionally well. She's in 4th place right now, swimming in lane 3. But yeah, that's the challenge with the extremely wide shots. Just from where I am broadcasting right now, I can't get wide enough to make it meaningful to you. If I were to have a camera up here with with a lens wide enough to get all 10 lanes, literally the swimmers would be the size of ants. You'd see more of the stands and the warm-up lanes than you would really the pool swimmers. So I do apologize for that. Again, I'm trying to figure something out. Trust me, that is something that's been on my agenda. There is a railing here at WPI, apart from the front row, that I could affix a camera to. The challenge with that is liability purposes. I don't like having a camera like hanging over an edge like that, because you never know what can happen. It is in a walkway down there. Even though it's a wide walkway, somebody could bump into it. Something could happen. So not a perfect solution for those distance events where everybody is spread wide apart. Jenna Wild leads the way here in lane 5. She's from Brandeis. Left Terry Roba is in 2nd. Becca Kaplan is in 3rd. We'll run down these places for you right here. Emma Savoy is in 4th. Kylie Herbstuber right behind her. So Kylie is 0.3 of a second out of 4th right now. Molly Kleindinst is 6th. Maria McMahon is 7th. Sophia Matera is 8th. Lydia Moliteri is 9th, and Erin Knight is 10th. So those are your standings. Yeah, split screen. You know, Anthony, I can't do. It's a good question. Can I do split screen? Again, I'm going to look into that. Again, but split screen is you're just going to see both. I suppose split screen could work if I can figure out a way to set up. We do have picture-in-picture capabilities, but the way it is set up here, it's a tiny window in in one of the corners, and if you're watching from a mobile device, it's not going to do you any good. you typically need to be watching from, geez, I'd say a tablet, but even a tablet, that window is small. You know, a TV, a big TV. NFL Red Zone. Speaking of NFL Red Zone, 2 hours, less than 2 hours and counting, 7 hours of continuous football from Scott Hansen on the Red Zone coming up. I'm sure we have a lot of football fans. Jenna Wild with 100 to go. Jenna has led this from the beginning. So we'll continue to bring you everyone else's swims. We'll get Jenna's time, 18:17:01. We'll continue to follow the other swimmers. Lefteri Roba comes in second, 18:32:37. Third place looks like it's going to be Becca Kaplan in lane 4, and it is. Becca Kaplan from Brandeis. Fourth place looks to be Emma Savoy, bottom of your screen in lane 2. And Savoy goes a 18:54:10. Herb Stuber comes in 5th with the 18:59:52. So we're going to get you those graphics back up on the screen so you can see those times. We're going to follow the swimmer in lane 8. Here comes Lydia Molatieri into finish. There you go. Now we'll go to the far side and we'll finish up with Erin Knight. Alex Gutierrez makes a good point. Let's face it, anything can be done with technology. It really depends on what your budget is. Okay, so Heat 2, men's 1650. Here we go. There are your lane assignments. Alex Bilecki from Clark in lane 1. Evan Buckley from WPI in 2. Kai West from Bentley in 3. Samuel Witcher from WPI in 4. Fisher Kaplan from Brandeis in 5. Tyler Stringfellow from Bryant in 6. Max Wagant from Babson in 7. Scott Nahum from WPI in 8. It's Angus Zawalik from WPI in lane 9. And Joseph Parsons in lane 10. A. Machuca says, all aboard the Kai West hype train. So Kai West, of course, swimming for Bentley here in lane 3. We'll keep an eye on Kai West. So as I was mentioning, you know, there is technology here, of course, to do anything. But, you know, if money is no object, that's always a beautiful thing. Money, unfortunately, though, is always an object. And we try and put together the best production that we can for our viewers. And again, we'll figure something out at some point to get a little bit of a wide angle. You know, the other thing that can be done, you know, we can put a camera kind of down near the pool, like on the lower deck, on the first level of the stands, but diagonal, and try and cover the pool that way. That's not a perfect solution either. It doesn't look great. And then the one thing you all have to remember, and obviously you all know this, is running the wires. I try and, as a general rule, set up my cameras where possible where I have to run wires across walking pathways the least amount possible. So as a matter of fact, here at WPI, there is only one wire going across a walkway. And it's taped down, and every session I make sure it's taped down. I've retaped it down So safety is always a big concern as well. Certainly don't want anyone tripping over a wire. But the distance was loud and clear. I certainly understand that for certain. I suspect at some point in the future we'll figure something out for everyone where it looks good and it's not a $25,000 solution, because there are those solutions. It is amazing. The audio video production segment or industry, whatever you want to call it, is so fascinating. You can spend literally endless amounts of money. You could be up into the mid to high six figures if you want. And of course, not many companies can afford to do that besides bigger networks that have ad money and all of this other stuff. Here at Abreu Media Productions, we don't have ad money. We may get there in the future, but no real ad money here. So we typically have a payment model which an organization can hire us for the broadcast or for our club meets. We do have a pay-per-meet option, and that's typically how we run our club meets. Tyler Stringfellow leads the way from Bryant. He's led from the beginning. We're at the 400-yard mark. Stringfellow swimming out of lane 6 from Bryant. So, Robert, I hear you loud and clear with those left and right streams. The other challenge that comes into that when you're running multiple streams, you get into a whole separate group of other issues, including bandwidth, video quality, because of bandwidth. So, again, a lot of things that go into that, but we certainly hear you loud and clear. It has been something that's on the roadmap, and I'm sure we will figure out a solution. The other challenging thing is, of course, from venue to venue, you know, my setup is a little bit different at every venue. My top 2 venues that I typically stream at happen to be here at WPI and at Brown University, which are 2 great venues. They each have their challenges, right? Brown isn't without its challenges as well from a broadcasting perspective. Sarah saw, she has it up on your smart TV. Yes, that's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. Get it, cast it up on the TV. Here's a suggestion for everyone also. You're watching on YouTube. When you look at your little video window, like on the bottom, if you move your mouse around in the bottom right-hand corner, like under the video screen, there's typically like a little gear. And it might have like a red HD on it. Make sure your settings are set to 1080p. That's going to give you the best video quality. A lot of times on YouTube, by default, it goes to 720p. So we're broadcasting in full high def, 1080p. And a lot of times people will say to me, well, Jeremy, it's blurry on my phone, my tablet, my computer, or it's glitchy. And to be honest, that's typically on the receiving end. So there are a lot of things that can affect the video quality. Number one is always the internet, where you are. Your video settings also impact that. A lot of times people are watching sometimes on 480p. So sometimes on YouTube, the lowest resolution setting is 480p to conserve bandwidth. And that's not a great picture quality. That's like standard definition. And then they flip that switch to 1080p, and they're like, whoa. Now this is what I want to see. So make sure you're watching on 1080p. Alex Gutierrez says, everyone stay tuned for the GOAT Nation Giving Challenge. I'm eager to hear a little bit more about that. Tyler Stringfellow continues to lead the way. Not quite at the halfway mark, but Tyler has led from the beginning in lane 6 from Bryant. Max Wagant is in second. Alex Bilecki from Clark is in third. Just about at the halfway mark, and Tyler Stringfellow from Bryant continues to lead the way here. He's a senior from Bryant. He comes in with a 10:32 flat. No, that's not a correct time. Of course he doesn't come in at a 10:32. He'd be a world record holder. Stringfellow remains the leader. Let's check on that lead. It was 24 seconds over Wagan at the 850-yard mark. We're at the 900-yard mark, approaching 950. The lead is 25 seconds over Wagan, 35 over Angus Zawalik, who has moved into third. Bilecki drops down into fourth. And again, folks, thank you for the feedback. I certainly appreciate it. One of the reasons I've spoken about this a few times, why I love the live chat. Yeah, we did have a troll last night trying to solicit for something. We got rid of them quick. They came back, then they were gone. But for the most part, 98% of the time, the live chat is fantastic, especially in a setting like this, right? It's all mostly adults and parents and brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins. It's always very professional, and it's a great way for me to interact with the viewers. It's funny, the people that are in the live chat all the time on my other swim meets, I feel like I know them because they give information, I give information. It's just a pretty cool thing, and you all have been spectacular here this weekend. Oh, okay, Sarah, that makes sense. They're seated off there 1,000 times. Yeah, I was looking at that, and I was like, these look more like 1,000 times than mile times because, again, everybody's in that 10, 11, 12 range. So, again, love the feedback, love the open communication. Great way to connect. Tyler Stringfellow remains in the lead. He's at the 1150-yard mark. Stringfellow has lost his cap, so I did notice that probably at the 1,000-yard mark, his cap was starting to fall off. Fortunately for Stringfellow, he has very short hair. So the drag coefficient isn't going to be too impacted, maybe slightly so, by the loss of the cap. Stringfellow at 11:55.65 right now at the 1,200-yard mark. 450 yards to go. Seems like an eternity, and again, I give these distance swimmers all of the credit in the world. I couldn't imagine swimming a mile. Certainly takes a special kind of swimmer to train for this distance. Tyler Stringfellow remains your leader from Bryant. Max Wagant from Babson second. Angus Zawalik from WPI third. It's Alex Bilecki in fourth. Fisher Kaplan in fifth. Samuel Witcher in sixth. Kai West in seventh. Evan Buckley in eighth. Scott Nahome in ninth. Joseph Parsons in 10. So that's where we stood at the 1,200-yard mark. .300 yards to go for Stringfellow. Again, Stringfellow swimming out of lane 6, going from left to right now. Soon to make that flip turn. There he goes. Lost his cap about 300 yards ago. I will say, among mishaps that can happen in the pool while you are swimming, and when you think of the two big ones, would be losing the goggles or the cap. From a standpoint of long hair versus short hair, if you have short hair and you lose your cap, not the end of the world. If you have long hair and you lose your cap, problems. Big problems. That hair is right in your face. It becomes a huge distraction, especially in freestyle. And if you lose your goggles, then yeah, all bets are off. Or if they fill up with water, that's a disaster. But for Stringfellow, fortunately here, it's got very short hair. Losing the cap isn't a huge deal. It's got 150 more yards to go. Down to the final 100 for Tyler Stringfellow from Bryant. The senior has led this from coast to coast, folks. He was the leader at the 50-yard mark. He's the leader going into the 1,600-yard mark right here. You'll hear the bell for him. 50 to go. I believe this is his father that you hear right below our position. He's been cheering Tyler on through the whole race. Pretty awesome to see. Obviously a very proud dad moment. Tyler makes his final turn. 25 yards to go for Stringfellow. And he will touch first in a time of 16:27.45. Second place is in lane 7 right now. So that's Max Wagant. Wagant making his come in on his final 25. Stringfellow went 16:27.45. Wagant goes 17:10.05. When you look to third, we're going to go to lane 4. Should be Fisher Kaplan coming in right now, I think. No, it's Witcher, Samuel Witcher. Kaplan will finish after Zawalik, followed by Bilecki. Kai West will finish up here in lane 3 from Bentley, followed by Evan Buckley from WPI. We'll go to camera 2. We'll finish up with Scott Nahome in lane 8. Joseph Parsons from Brandeis in lane 10. But congratulations to Tyler Stringfellow. First place here in the mile, 16:27.45. We'll now move on to the third heat. This will be a women's heat.
Heat 3, women's 16:53.
Here we go. Heat 3 in the water, women's 16:50. This concludes the Kai West hype train. It was a ride. Proud of the boy. Yes. Nice job by Kai from Bentley. I will give full credit in support of that comment for sure. Swimming in lane 1 from WPI, it's the freshman Irene Fisher. Swimming in lane 2 from Babson, Erin Sweeney, swimming in lane 3, it's Caitlin Swartz from WPI. Swimming in lane 4, it's Dahiana Gusoni Ferrin from Babson. Swimming in lane 5, it's Allie Burnett from Springfield. Swimming in lane 6, it's Vangela Randall from Babson. Swimming in 7, it's Sid Kochensparger from Clark. Swimming in lane 8, it's Caitlin Grove from WPI. And swimming in lane 9, it's Victoria Corcoran from WPI. There are 1, 2, 3 freshmen listed on my sheet, and there's 3 swimmers who don't have a year, so they could be freshmen, but the freshmen are Irene Fisher, Allie Burnett, and Victoria Corcoran. Vangela Randall from Babson out in front early. And when I say early, it's early. 150 yards in, 1,500 to go. Swartz in second, Kochensparger in third. This is also the part of the program where I sort of limit my words. Try and preserve that voice for finals tonight.
Just a reminder that you are required to provide your own timer for the mile. You're required to provide your own timer for the mile. Thank you.
A reminder to all of the swimmers, they have to provide their own timer for the mile. Which is interesting because we have a pool full of swimmers and we have quite a few lanes that don't have timers or anybody there. So we'll see what happens with that. We obviously we have official times, but there's always a chance of a electronic touchpad malfunction or whatever. That's why we always, in every meet you'll see, right down to the lowest levels of club, you'll have volunteer timers as well, just to make sure that every swimmer gets a time for every event that they swim. Obviously very important. In these distance events, the swimmers are also responsible for providing a counter, who is typically a teammate. As you can see on the right side of the pool, they'll hold these long sticks with the numbers on them, keeping the swimmers on track. Obviously, in a race like the mile, it can become very easy to lose track of where you are. No change in the top two right now. Vangela Randall from Babson leads the way. Caitlin Swartz from WPI running in second. Dahiana Gassoni Ferrin running in third right now from Babson. Once again, on the production side today, we have Avery Abreu and Samantha from the WPI Sports Information Department helping me bring you all of this action live. I think Avery is the youngest producer on the planet. You witnessed her work last night during finals. She'll be back producing tonight for finals. And, you know, when I say producing, this isn't a broadcast on ESPN. But, you know, we have multiple cameras. We're managing on-screen graphics. We're managing camera switches at the right times. Not all of the graphics are automatic. Many of them are manual. The winner graphic, the results. So, great job by my youngest daughter, Avery, doing an awesome job. Samantha also running the third camera very well here today. We thank her for all her hard work and time. We'll be back tonight. We'll have Nicole Miller back. Nicole was with us on Friday night. Vangela Randall from Babson continues to lead the way. Dahiana Gassoni Ferrin has moved up into second. Caitlin Swartz from WPI in third. Randall continues to lead the way for Babson in lane 6. She's going from left to right now with the white cap. Vangela Randall leads the way. She's followed by her Babson teammate, Gasoni Farron. Third place now is Allie Burnett from Springfield. Fourth place, Caitlin Grove from WPI. A little past the halfway mark. Vangela Randall. Allie Burnett has moved up into second now. Gasoni Farron has dropped down into third. Randall's in lane 6, Burnett's in 5, Gasoni Farron is in 4. So our top 3 swimmers, lanes 4, 5, and 6. Actually, the inverse there, 6, 5, and 4. Goes 1, 2, 3. Randall continues to lead the way in lane 6. She's at the 10:50 mark. Allie Burnett from Springfield, 14 seconds behind. Dahiana Gasoni Farron from Babson, 16 behind. And Caitlin Grove from WPI, 21 behind. Continuing to blast through. Randall from Babson continues to lead the way at the at the 12:50 mark. Randall has led this from the beginning. So again, trying to be a coast-to-coast winner. Randall, Burnett, Gassoni, Farron, and Grove, they're your top four. They have been your top four for most of this race, if not all. Less than 150 yards to go for Vangela Randall and Allie Burnett. Randall on her way to being coast-to-coast winner here. Has been the leader since the initial 50. 100 left for Randall. She's in the middle of your screen. White cap swimming from left to right, approaching the flags, now at the flags. Approaching the 1,600-yard mark. Burnett remains in second, Gassoni Farron third, Caitlin Grove fourth, and there's the bell for Randall. She'll have 50 to go to put the finishing touches on a rather strong performance here in the women's 1650. $19:31.10 for Randall. So nice performance there by Vangela Randall. Allie Burnett takes second, 19:45.48. Here comes Gasoni Farron for third. Fourth place goes to Caitlin Grove. Fifth place looks like it'll be lane 7 coming in here on the right side of your screen. Sid Koschensparger, I believe. Sometimes I even get a little lost during these distance events. And no, it is Koschensparger. 2020-81. Caitlin Swartz next to finish, 2026-92. Erin Sweeney from Babson, 2039-43. Here comes Irene Fisher from WPI in lane 1, 2050-10. So I don't have I just realized this, I don't have a name for the swimmer in lane 10. Nothing on the heat sheet, nothing in the system. So I think that looks like Clark, the red caps from Clark, it is. (21:42.35) there, and we'll finish up in lane 9 with Victoria Corcoran. Corcoran will put the finishing touches here on her 1650. 22:39.08. So once again, Vangela Randall. There are your results. Randall Burnett, Gasoni Farron. So we have a lot of swimmers here who are not on the sheet. So these are swimmers that probably get added to the program. So lane 5 is supposed to be Asher Stuckelman from Bryant. Lane 6, Rowan Compton from Clark. And lane 7, Eli Budd from WPI. And those are the only swimmers I know about. So the rest of the swimmers, folks, it looks like they're Clark University swimmers, but they are not on the heat sheet, nor are they up on the scoreboard, or maybe they are. So in lane 3, it's Cordell from Clark. 5 is Stuckelman from Bryant. 6 is Compton from Clark. 7 is Budd from WPI. 8 is Twyman from Clark, 9 is Wilson from Clark, and 10 is Shapiro from Clark. So what happens, as I mentioned, is prior to the session each morning, and we try and do this right before the meet starts because there's always changes, the folks at the scorers table will go into the meet software, and they'll download all of the events, all of the swimmers and lanes and all of that good stuff to a thumb drive. I'll bring it up and load it to the computer, which in turn drives the software. If there are changes during the meet, which typically there aren't many at all, but in the case of this, there were changes. There were swimmers added to the heat. They would have to send someone up to me to get the thumb drive to go down, to re-download the updated order and swimmers, and then I would have to reload it. So if that doesn't happen, my data is going to be a little off. So I mentioned those swimmers to you again. In lanes 8, 9, and 10 from Clark, it's Twyman, Wilson, and Shapiro. And in lane 3, it's Cordell. Asher Stuckelman continues to lead the way, and we've seen pretty much a reoccurring theme during these mile swims is that while there are a lot of changes to typically places 2 through 10 during the swim, the first place swimmer typically gets out in front early and doesn't look back. That's what we're seeing here with Asher Stuckelman. 300-yard mark. He's led since the 50. .550 yards in. Stuckelman leads the way, followed by Bud and Compton. They're your top 3. Lanes 5, 7, and 6, respectively. No change through 650. Stuckelman, Bud, and Compton. It's actually a pretty tight race there between Stuckelman and Bud, separated by a little over a second and a half. Stuckelman in 5, Bud in lane 7. Stuckelman and Bud. The lead gets slimmer for Stuckelman. The lead was around 3 seconds at the 450-yard mark, and we've seen Bud just carefully chipping away at the lead. It's down to a second at this point. So Stuckelman in lane 5, Bud in lane 7. Stuckelman's got the black cap with the gold lettering. Stuckelman with the silver cap and the red and white lettering. See what that lead is now, and it's back up to 2 seconds. So just when Bud was starting to make some headway with cutting into that lead, he had it down to just a shade over a second. It's back up to 2:18. We'll give you another check in, and you can visually see the distance. So Bud was much closer 150 yards ago. I think there's going to be a little ebb and flow here for the final 700 yards or so. Bud cuts it back down. Now Bud shaves almost a half a second off from the last 50. Bud's splits are pretty consistent in the 32s, 32 mid. Stuckelman has been in the 32 low, mid, and high. So that's where the difference is. Again, it looks like Bud making up a little ground here. It was 1 3/4 seconds at the last 50 turn. Now it's about the same. He lost 1/100th of a second, so not a big loss there. I believe this is our final race of the morning. And I only say that because I don't see any more swimmers lined up at the blocks, although it would be a little early. There could potentially be one more heat. I think there is one more heat. I think. Or two? Actually, there could be one or two more heats left as I look at the heat sheet. Again, they went completely out of order from the heat sheet, so you never know what happens, folks. This, again, as I mentioned, there's typically scratches that happen. Once again, I apologize for my lack of commentary, but trying to conserve. I did. But again, trying to conserve a little voice for those finals tonight. I need to come back fired up. This is going to be the best finals night of the meet. I think the swim saying is last day, fast day. So we've seen that throughout so far this morning with the continuing trend of amazing time drops. Stuckelman has built that lead up to a little over 3 seconds. And actually, it's going to be a lot more than 3 seconds here, so we'll keep an eye. No, it's actually not. I was looking at the wrong lane. It's going to be less than 2 seconds, I think. 2.89, so just under 3. So we'll see what Bud can do here. Stuckelman, in between strokes there, makes a little stop to pull up his tech suit. No, that wasn't Stuckelman. That was Compton. Nope, it wasn't Compton. I lost track here. No, it was Compton. And you know what threw me off? Rowan Compton has lost his cap. So Rowan Compton in lane 6 has lost his red Clark University cap. No, there's not. So Rowan Compton losing his cap. He's got dark hair. He looks like a Bryant swimmer with a black cap on. So that's what threw me off a little bit. Rowan Compton has lost his cap. Stuckelman's lead over Bud is just about 4 seconds. Jenny Day, all right, usually the top mile heats for men and women will swim at finals. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it here. And you know what? It's funny. We haven't seen them from the club level. I haven't seen the mile offered at a meet yet this year, I don't believe. And it certainly hasn't been. No, you know what it is? We've had the mile in club meets this year, but we haven't had it in a trials finals meet or prelims finals. So I believe at that club level, we only do it once. Stuckelman gets the bell here, 50 yards to go. 17:44.43 for Stuckelman. Bud goes 17:49.07. Compton will go and make his final 50. Rowan Compton will come in for the finish here. 18:14.02. Next to finish should be lane 8. That's Twyman from Clark. I think he has, yes, a little more to go. So we'll eight. So go back. Nope, you're good. Twyman finishes up in 19:02.17. Wilson in lane 9 has lost their cap. Shapiro finishes up in 19:22.77. Here comes Cordell in lane 3. 19:36 flat for him. Wilson from Clark continues to speed along. He lost his cap a little bit ago. Wilson with 100 yards to go in lane 9 from Clark. .75 to go for Wilson from Clark. Asher Stuckelman was the winner of this heat, 17:44.43. Eli Budd took second, 17:49.07. Third place was Rowan Compton, 18:14.02. Final 25 for Wilson from Clark. Great effort by this young man, battling it out, lost his cap along the way. 23, 35, 42. The time for Wilson, and that's a wrap on Heat 3. I think that was Heat 4. So, do we have one swimmer swimming the mile by himself? Oh, this poor young man. I think. I don't know. We got to wait for the PA announcer. If this is a time trial, we'll be... Okay, so this is a time trial, folks. So we will be signing off. We will be signing off until diving comes back at 1:30 in about an hour. So on behalf of Avery Abreu and Sam from WPI, we appreciate you taking the time to join us for prelims. 1:30 diving. We'll see you tonight for finals. 5 o'clock, folks. Remember that. 5 o'clock finals start time, not 6 as it's been for the last time this morning. From WPI, I am Jeremy Abreu. We will see you tonight.